And boy, my mouth is getting dry now because you got me excited, and
I know,
I know
man.
I've been talking a lot. We've been doing a lot of subjects here.
I know, but you got me excited. I was just thinking too. It's like, dude, we could do a whole series just about you. Man, I mean, literally, I could listen to this for hours and chat with you, and I mean, it's such an inspiration to see it's unfolding. It's like moment after moment, these incredible experiences that one would make a lifetime, and there's so many, and there are so many more to come. Like you said, it didn't matter. It took 3 months or 9 months, whatever. And you shift the way that you relate to your time. What's the quality of your experience, and how do you determine the quality? Is that alignment and that tingle and that connection? But you weren't worried about this is taking too long. Not that maybe those thoughts came up, or I'm running out of money, or what any of those sorts of quantitative ideas. Maybe they come up, but kudos to you for not allowing that to take over, and keep coming back. And again, look what happened. What was the output?
Yeah.
Hit all of the other metrics all the same. There's so many lessons to get out of this.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I literally could create an entire course based on this conversation of what you said, of your experiences of these moments. So it's really, really inspiring. I do want to um, probably find a way to come back to this, because it's like, even for me right now, I'm just like, man, I got to integrate. So I'm like bursting with what you're sharing.
Yeah.
So share a little bit about coming to, like, what are you doing now?
Yeah.
And I do have to bring this up, and you find a way to work this in, being that on our Zoom call right now, there's a name on the bottom that isn't yours. So,
Yes.
so for anybody who's watching this, is probably going to wonder, well, who's Dana Walden? So, because the name's right there. So maybe just share a little bit um,
That's
about
funny.
about what you're doing right now,
Yeah.
and how that comes in, and what's unfolding, what's next.
Okay. Yeah. And that's great that you brought up the name down there, because the name is significant, that name there, to what I'm doing now. But or and right now, because that name there is Dana Walden, and Dana Walden has become a manager, a mentor, a great friend to, he's managing Luke and the Lovingtons and the Goodness Tour right now, and in a way is just a mentor and a creator of a lot of the things we're doing. And I am in his studio right now. This is Dana Walden's keyboard, both of his keyboards, and
And I
this is
got I got to just
his
throw in, as
mic.
we go into that, just a little context as we open it up, of the many great things that Dana's done. For those that don't know,
Yeah.
can't step over that he penned one of the greatest love songs of all time.
Yes. Yes. Dana Walden wrote "How About Us" by
So
Champagne.
just instead of me, I could do it, but just sing the chorus real quick.
Yeah. Gosh, I hope I don't. Sorry, Dana, and sorry, Champagne. If some people were made for each other, some people will last forever. How about us?
Yeah, that's it. I love that. Oh man,
You and me
um,
together.
so good, and it's really one of the
Lasting
all-time classics.
forever. Yeah.
So anyway, now a little bit, but Dana has, I mean, that's, again, you talk about so many things. It's one little piece, but I just want to throw that in too, so anybody
Yes.
listening knows that. But now, here working with him, what's next for the Goodness Tour? What's next for Luke and the Lovingtons? And yeah, let's start there. And then I do want to make sure, I know you got some new music, and I want you to share a song with us as well before we wrap
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. So we right now are still in the middle of a project in the Bahamas. I'm not in the Bahamas right now. I'm in Topanga, California, um, during this current pandemic and social distancing and lockdown. But we have been working in the Bahamas after Hurricane Dorian, and Benjamin the painter painted dozens of inspiring murals in the devastated island, Abaco, the Abaco Islands. And I worked in a shelter with kids, and actually in Nassau, Bahamas, all kids and families that have been evacuated from the hurricane. And we wrote the beginnings of a musical. So I'm still working on that. And these kids, you know, there's there's a batch of songs that are kind of becoming a musical, and it written written by kids and adults, like in the shelter, in desperate moments, and I'm still interacting with all of them. So we're moving that project forward at the same time as we've been paused and the world is experiencing this pandemic, which is like a shared disaster. With our time that we spend going to natural disasters, it's the whole world is going through an adversity right now. So many are, a huge amount experiencing the adversity of this pandemic. And so for the Goodness Tour, usually we're, pinpointing a certain place, but right now the whole world is going through this unified struggle, and we were trying to figure out. I was talking to Dana. I was like, okay, how can we get hazmat suits, and how can we go to the hospitals and start playing music for people that are fighting to survive through the coronavirus, and to the doctors, to everyone. And as we talked about it, we kind of began to see, that for now, that road of physically going could potentially be, actually a disturbance. We could be a part of transmitting just by moving and traveling. Even if we had hazmat suits, we could potentially be another carrier or conduit of the spread of the coronavirus. And so we came back to, what we can do now from right here is a virtual Goodness Tour. So we've been working on the funding and the technology to be able to project into hospital rooms, ideally be able to interact, play songs, paint. So we're working on that. And then the first action we did, because we wanted to go to the doctors and nurses and be able to sing for them in person, but since we couldn't right now, we created a thank you song. And we put together this thank you song, and we gathered people from around the world, clips of people saying thank you. And we just wanted to provide this song as a boost and a thank you to all the frontline workers in during this pandemic. And so that's what we're doing right now. And
Amazing.
the band Luke and the Lovingtons, I'm about to release my first song and our first song. It's more of a song that I've done, and I brought some of the Lovingtons in on it, but it's the first song I've released in 4 years. And it's going to be this May 31st, in 9 days.
Wow.
And
So now
pump.
we got two songs that I would love to see which one you'd like to share. Can you either play the thank you song for us, or could you play this new song that you're going to release and share that? Are you open to playing one of those?
Yeah, I think I'll play the new song because the thank you song is this beautiful duet, and it would be nice if Shia Luna were here. So I'll play the new song I'm about to release, which I think
Amazing.
really fits with this interview
Yeah,
too.
perfect.
Um,
Beautiful.
okay, just gonna grab a little water.
Okay, through the magic of editing or really just hitting the pause button, all of a sudden you appear with a guitar in
Yes,
your head.
with a guitar and hydrated. All you
Exactly,
did was
perfect.
you went click.
That's
Like,
it.
if life could work like that, boom.
If I didn't say anything, no one would have known. They would have just, wow, this guy truly is magical. Look at that. So, okay, so now if you can tell us what is, first of all, what is the name of this song?
Yes, it's called Let Us Dream.
Let Us Dream. Okay,
Let Us Dream.
Let Us Dream.
Hear me, Lord, I need to sing. Ever since I was little, I was prone to dream. Was there too much space between my head and my feet? 'Cause I had a little trouble keeping track of things. Where's your jacket? My dad would ask. I said, Dad, I don't know where I had it last. I'll get it back. Don't be mad, Dad. Let us dream, let us fly so high. Take those knots that made us cry. We untie them, yeah. Well, nowadays there's more balance in me. I've grown roots and wings simultaneously. I really feel I've made big strides to keep my feet on the ground while flying my kite. But sometimes people like their memory of you, yeah. Yet you can't live there 'cause you're blazing brand new. Let us dream, let us fly so high, yeah. Take those knots that made us cry. We untie them, yeah. We untie them, yeah. She picks herself up off of the floor. Every little movement is the greatest chore. Tries not to give up as she searches the drawers for the pen and paper she's looking for. Writes this message, hangs it up on the back of her bedroom door. Every day when she goes out, the sound of her voice reading it, it helps her out. And it says, I will not be afraid to take the steps I must today. Help me be brave to face the ones I must today. I will not be afraid to take the steps I must today. Help me be brave to face the ones I must today. Woo! Let us dream, let us fly so high. Yeah. Take those knots that made us cry. We untie them, yeah. We're aligned.
Yeah. Oh man, that is so good. So good. Thank you.
Go
Thank you.
ahead.
You're used to hearing like huge classes, just like just me in my living room, but picture this is hundreds
Yeah,
of thousands, millions of people
that's
cheering
right.
for you. Look at
Hey,
that. You got clapping here going
two
on in
claps.
the back, right?
Like you said on the quantitative, those two claps. That's it.
But
That's
that's what does it take, man? Like you said, you reach
huge right now.
one person,
Yes.
just one person. I love the line about growing roots and wings at the same time.
Yeah.
That's a good line right there, man. That's so good. That's really powerful.
You know, it's so cool that you mentioned that line because remember how earlier in our conversation I talked about how I have this phenomenal friend, this great life friend, Benjamin Suarez, who has been a part of all of the almost the majority of the greatest endeavors that I've done. He's been a part of it, and I've been a part of his, and the weaving of our friendship. It's incredible. But he wrote that line.
Oh, look at that,
This
man.
this this is the
Benjamin is.
first song.
We're gonna have Benjamin will be like the part two of this conversation.
Yes,
So, wow.
this is the
So,
first song I think, yeah, that I have that yeah that Ben yeah Ben is a co-writer on this one because I was working on this and talking about it every day, and I was trying to figure out the second verse, and he helped me with a lot of the second verse, and
that's amazing because like it's a beautiful song, and I'm just like, yo, man, this is my favorite line. You're like, yeah, I didn't write that one.
which is great, which I feel no, you know, it's like it's like left hand, right hand, you know. Benjamin is like we're reflections of each other, you know, and
But even still, whether it's Benjamin, whether it's 100 people in Puerto Rico,
yeah,
whether it's some kids in a refugee camp, doesn't matter, right? When you can release that ownership and just be the steward
yes,
for the birthing of the creation of it, everything is possible.
that's right.
Wow, man. Well, dude, I'm so lit up right now, and I really appreciate you taking the time to uh, to get on and have this conversation for us to dive in and talk about this. Um, I want to make sure that we mention how can people get a hold of you, how can they support, how can they with the virtual goodness tour, anything. What? Let us know.
Yes, yes. So with the band and the music, it's Luc and the Lovingtons. Luc spelled Luc, the French style, and the Lovingtons, like loving a ton. So you can go to lucandthelovingtons.com, is our website, or Luc and the Lovingtons on Instagram, Facebook, and then also YouTube, Luc and the Lovingtons, and then the Goodness Tour, the same. If you go to thegoodnesstour.org, it will bring you to a lot of the work with the nonprofit work and music and art for people facing adversity, and the same there. You can go to Instagram, the Goodness Tour, and those would be. those would be the direct things I would say to check
Amazing.
out
And
and
we'll put links
become a part
down.
of our become a part of our our team, become a
Just
part of
come on
our.
board. And I'm sure there's lots of ways that people can support.
Yes.
Doesn't have to, they obviously can find ways to donate, but if there's connections, if there's sharing the music, if there's listening to the music and opening your heart and then treating the people around you a little bit kinder, that's a
Yes.
great support. So many ways to get involved.
Yes, and I was just going to add in there on, you know, supporting the, you know, the Goodness Tour is right now has a fiscal sponsor with a 501c3 status, and that's the Chatty Cooper Foundation. So people can donate to the Goodness Tour, tax deductible. That helps us continue to bring this service of music and art to people facing adversity. And you know, maybe this will live, obviously this is going to live on this video, so they're also the Goodness Tour is also pending as its own 501c3, but right now we're able to fully operate as a 501c3 under the Chatty Cooper
Great. And
Foundation.
if anybody were to go to the goodnesstour.org, they'd be able to see.
Yes, exactly, it'll be right there, and that kind of helps clarify it. Yep.
Okay, cool. Man, I'm so like, I don't want to bring like sadness into the space, but like I'm sad to end the conversation. I feel so good, man. It's great. I always love talking to you. You're such an inspiration. Personally, I mean, so humble. Um, Not to mention, just anytime we get to hear that silky smooth, velvety voice, you know, is a nice thing as well. But really, just tapping into the story of like just a person who just said, you know what, I'm gonna follow my heart and see what I can do to be of service, and look at all the incredible things beyond the impact that have happened. You know, it's such a model of, doesn't mean you don't have to play guitar, you know, whatever it is, whatever your service is, whatever your gift is, whatever your light is, to shine that. So, on behalf of the world, thank you for shining your light, man.
Thank you, Aaron. I'm taking that in fully, receiving, and yeah, and I just wanted to say you've had a great effect on my life since we became friends, and every every single time we've met up and conversated, I've been filled with light and and inspiration, you know. And I remember you and I just sitting there buzzing in that cafe and
I know,
like
yeah.
in Venice, just feeling the whole kingdom of heaven,
I
like
know, man.
right here, right now. And
And we're like looking around, be like, does anybody else feel this? Like, what is
yeah,
happening right now?
yeah,
Yeah, and but that's always possible. It's
yes,
possible at a cafe in Venice. It's possible at a shelter in New Orleans, at a refugee camp in Jordan, at a at an encampment of slave rescue in Ghana.
yeah, yeah.
If it's possible there, it's possible everywhere. Welcome to my house. As you said, this is it. Open it up. It's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Luke. I love you. I appreciate
Yes.
you.
Love you too, brother.
I'm really excited to see what continues to unfold for you,
Yep.
for the Goodness Tour, for everything that you touch and comes out of this. So, thank you. All right, brother. This has
You.
been the Soultivation Conversation, the soul of music. And you know, if you don't know now what is possible from music, and this man, we was so far beyond music, but even to bring it back, right, even if it was just that, what is the power of music? And that was the impetus of this conversation. Let's talk about the power of music. And I guess with that, as far as it went outside of that, we bring it back. This conversation is a direct reflection of what is the power of music.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. Well, I'm like stuttering. I don't want to end. I gotta go. Gotta go. All right, brother. We'll
Hey,
talk to you soon. Thank you.
conversation never ends. I always say to be continued.
That's it. To be continued, and we'll have Benjamin on for the continuation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, look out. That's going to be something.
Yeah. All right, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, brother. Peace.